In the beginning, before time was measured and before humanity walked the earth, there was only God. In his infinite wisdom and power, he created the heavens and the earth. Out of darkness came light, and the foundation of creation was laid. Then God formed the first man from the dust of the ground. With divine purpose and loving care, he shaped Adam, creating a being unlike any other creature on earth. God breathed into Adam the breath of life. In that sacred moment, Adam opened his eyes and became a living soul. The first man stood before his Creator, surrounded by the beauty of a perfect world. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a paradise overflowing with life and abundance. Crystal clear rivers flowed through the land, and every tree was pleasing to the eye and good for food. God brought the animals before Adam, and one by one, he gave each creature a name. From the mighty lion to the smallest bird, Adam fulfilled the responsibility God had entrusted to him. Yet among all the creatures of the earth, Adam found no companion like himself. Though surrounded by life, he was alone. God saw Adam's need and prepared a perfect solution. God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. As he rested peacefully beneath the trees of Eden, God began a miraculous work that would forever change human history. From one of Adam's ribs, God created a woman. She was beautiful, unique, and perfectly designed to be Adam's companion. Her name would be Eve. When Adam awoke and saw Eve, his heart was filled with joy. At last, he had someone like himself. Together they would share life in the paradise God had created. Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony with God and with creation. There was no fear, no pain, and no sorrow. Eden was a place of peace and perfect fellowship. In the center of the garden stood the tree of life, a symbol of God's provision and blessing. It reminded Adam and Eve of the life that flowed from their Creator. One day, a cunning serpent entered the garden. More crafty than any other creature, he approached Eve with a dangerous plan. The serpent questioned God's command, planting seeds of doubt in Eve's mind. He tempted her to believe that disobedience would bring wisdom and power. As Eve looked at the fruit, it seemed beautiful and desirable. Curiosity and temptation filled her heart as she slowly reached out her hand. In a moment that would change history forever, Eve took the fruit and ate it. The first act of human disobedience had begun. Eve then offered the fruit to Adam. Faced with a choice, Adam listened not to God's command, but to temptation. Adam took the fruit and ate it. Instantly, sin entered the world, breaking the perfect relationship between humanity and God. Their eyes were opened and they realized they were naked. Feelings they had never known before, shame, fear, and guilt, filled their hearts. Afraid and ashamed, Adam and Eve hid among the trees of the garden. For the first time, they tried to hide from the very God who had created them. As the Lord walked through the garden, he called out to Adam, not because he did not know where Adam was, but because he desired Adam to come before him. Standing before God, Adam and Eve confessed what they had done. Their disobedience had brought devastating consequences upon themselves and the world. From that day on, God pronounced judgment upon the serpent for his deception. Yet even in judgment, God revealed a promise that evil would one day be defeated, but humanity will suffer. The perfect world God had created was now affected by sin. Sorrow, pain, struggle, and death would become part of human existence. God came in human form. Even in their failure, God showed mercy. He made garments for Adam and Eve, covering their shame and demonstrating his compassion. God loved his children, all his creatures. Adam and Eve were sent out of the Garden of Eden. With heavy hearts, they left behind the paradise they once called home because of the big shame they have caused upon themselves. At the entrance of the garden, God placed a mighty angel with a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life, so they can't come inside and commit sin again. Outside Eden, Adam and Eve began a new life. The ground would now require hard labor, and the challenges of a fallen world surrounded them. Though sin had entered the world, God's story was far from over. Even in humanity's darkest moment, he had already set in motion a plan of redemption, and through that promise, hope remained alive for all generations to come. The moral of the story is simple. Every choice matters. Temptation may offer quick rewards, but wisdom comes from making decisions that align with truth, responsibility, and faith. And even when we fail, there is always an opportunity to learn, grow, and begin again.